In the early morning of the 7th of April, 2013, in Yakima County, Washington, a homicide occurred inside the home of Desiree Sunford, a 30-year-old art teacher. Her husband, Scott Sunford, quickly became a focal point, while the name Marty Grismer began to surface in the investigation with multiple suspicious indicators.
Sheriff's Office.
Hi, ma'am. This is Scott Sunford. I was robbed last weekend. I live at 320 North St. Hilaire. Anyways, after the robbery, I had an ADT alarm system installed, and they put it on a one-week trial period where if anything went off, nobody would respond. And today at 324, 327, and 328, I had 3 sensors tripped, and I've been out of town with family for a funeral. My wife was home. And
did somebody break into the residence?
I don't know. I've been out of town. I'm just on my way back, and I haven't been able to get a hold of the wife, so I was just hoping somebody can come meet me out there. It's probably nothing, but I would feel better.
Paige, Camico, Mercedes, Ackerland, Blades.
Okay.
Ackerland being maiden, Blades is my married last name.
Okay. So what's your current address? Okay, so it's the same as before. And what's your date of birth?
4/30/89.
Okay. And you understand we're being recorded right now?
Yes.
And do you have your permission to keep recording?
Yes.
Okay, so obviously the big reason that I wanted to talk to you face to face was that we got a Crime Stoppers tip from you with some new information about the shooting.
Yep.
Did a little research based on the information that you sent us, and found a picture of Marty Grismer. Is that the gentleman that we're talking about?
Yes.
Okay. Would you mind just initialing and putting the date below that? Normally I would do a montage, but you were so specific with your description about who it was that I felt pretty comfortable.
He looks a little bit different now.
Okay. How does he look different now?
He has hair. I can show you. That's what he looks like.
Okay.
It is quite a difference.
Well, he was about 18 in that picture, and he's 10 years later.
Okay. So, in the tip, you were pretty specific about some new information that's come to light. So, why don't you just tell me in your own words what you've heard, how you heard it, and I think that's as good a place as any.
He asked me if I wanted him to take care of this new woman like he did Des. And I asked him what he was talking about. The first time he came to see me, I was pregnant. We had just found out about 3 weeks before the shooting that I was pregnant. Marty was one of the first people that I told. And apparently he decided that if the baby was Scott's like it was supposed to be, then Desiree would cause issues. Oh my God.
So you told Marty that Scott was the father of the baby?
Oh, Marty knew that Scott and I were together, and Scott was the only one that I was seeing. And he's smart enough to put it together. Like, he asked me for sure if it was Scott's, and I told him yeah, because at the time I thought that was the case. The night of the shooting, you know, Scott and I went to dinner with a coworker, and I had asked him to come over, and I always paid his gas whenever he made extra trips. I was a little bit short on money, and I asked Marty if I could borrow $20. So he came over and dropped the money off. We sat and visited for 15 minutes or so, and then he went home because he had to work the next day. It was pretty late at night, but then I had my $60 that I could give to Scott for gas. So he already knew that Scott wasn't going to be home. What he told me on Wednesday was that he had gone home, gone to sleep for a couple of hours, and he got up. I can't look at that. He had an extra clip of some old ammo that he had bought a few years ago. He ran out all of the ammo in his backyard until he had a single clip left. He had a gun. It was untraceable, unregistered, and he said he took it. He made sure that everything was wiped down, completely clean, no fingerprints on anything, none of the bullets, reloaded the clip.
My heart shattered when Paige revealed Marty said, "Like I did Des." This kind of obsession is terrifying. He wiped the gun clean, turned his phone off, took the back roads. Everything planned for Paige? It's pure injustice. Desiree got caught and killed in someone else's twisted love triangle. Watch Paige's body language, those heavy sighs, the snorts. She was in total shock, but hearing this makes me furious too. If this is hitting you hard, hit that like button and subscribe for more real cases every week. Turn the bell on.
Marty was my best friend for a long time.
The narrative expands to include preparation, transportation, weapons, and periods of absence involving key individuals. Each piece of information is examined to determine who could have accessed the house during the early morning hours.
Scott had given him a tour of the house a couple months before, and he knew that I had a key there. He knew that there was a key outside.
Do you know how we knew that?
Because he knew our routine. He knew it was just stuff that we talked about. I was excited about getting the house. I was excited about everything was new, and, you know, it was just stuff that we shared. I never told him where the key was hidden. He said it took him probably 15 minutes to find it. He got the key. He went in the front door because he knew that that was the closest to the bedroom. The alarm went off when he opened the door. And Ada came out barking. Des came out right behind her, and he shot her. He shot her 3 times. She went down. He shot her some more. I don't remember how many bullets he said. It was a full clip. He let her get, 10 or 15 feet away. And he got closer to her as she was trying to crawl away. He wanted to make sure that she had an open casket funeral. Because it was raining that night, and he wanted to leave shoe prints.
Attention turns to potential physical evidence: shell casings, shoe prints, and a jewelry box from the bedroom. These small details begin to align with evidence already documented at the crime scene.
He put the key back in its hiding spot. He went back inside again, grabbed a jewelry box off of her dresser, and he left.
Did he describe the jewelry box?
I think he said it was the little one.
So it's little. Do you know what color it is?
It's brown. I think it had gold trim.
Do you know if there's anything distinctive about it that we would be able to say, yes, that's Desiree's
I haven't seen it in so long. I think that's the one that she put her scrap jewelry into. If she lost an earring, she would put the other earring into that jewelry box. Rings that she didn't really wear very often went into that jewelry box.
So did Marty say what he did when he left?
He said he went home, started a fire in the burn barrel, burned all of the clothes, his shoes, his gloves, got in the shower, got ready for work, and he went to work.
This part made my soul tremble. The victim crawling away, and Marty moving closer just to make sure she had an open casket funeral. What kind of person even thinks like that? That wasn't mercy. It was pure cruelty. He stole a jewelry box as some sick proof. Obsession literally murdered humanity here. And Paige saying Marty worships the ground I walk on. That worship cost one innocent woman her life.
And that he told you this was Wednesday? Last Wednesday?
I'm pretty sure it was Wednesday.
The 23rd?
Yeah.
At your house?
Yes.
Friends, neighbors, and local acquaintances enter the picture. Investigators consider how casual conversations may have shared sensitive details, explaining how someone could know the layout of the house so well.
And did he just start going into detail, or did you have to kind of prompt him?
Mostly he just told me everything. I asked if he got away with it. And that's why he told me that he burned everything and he made sure to take the back way out because there's no cameras on those roads. I remember that he had gotten into a wreck, and at that time he was driving a rental. He wasn't in his normal car.
You don't know where he rented it from, though?
I don't remember if it was our insurance or if it was the dealership that got it for him. But I know that it had Utah plates. And it was silver. I think it was silver.
Do you recall what kind of car it was at all?
I want to say it was like a Camry or a Prius. Something small like that.
Is he a big gun guy? Does he have a lot of guns?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's avid. He used to carry $1,500 cash just in case he came across a gun that he had to have. I don't know if he has them in the apartment or if they're all at his dad's, but I know that he has told me that he has built some of his own guns. He's done a lot of modifications. I do know that. He has one that he used to carry in his car. I don't know if he still does or not. And that was a pistol. I think it was a 40 or a 45.
What's his dad like? Is his dad a gun guy too?
I've only ever met his dad once, and that was at his wedding last year. So I honestly don't know very much about him.
At the beginning, you said that Marty brought it up by saying, "Do you want me to take care of this woman like I did the last one?" Which woman was he talking about?
The one that Scott's living with.
Scott's living with another lady right now?
Mm-hmm.
Where do they live?
In Richland.
How long have they been together?
He moved in August or September of last year.
you know her name at all?
Johnny.
Do you know her last name?
Cracked, I think. Kracht.
And you said that you've had a baby, that you said at that time you thought it was Scott's?
Right.
You think differently now?
My ex made me get a paternity test in December.
And what did that show?
I never found out that it was his.
That's your ex's? Dylan?
Yeah.
Did you say December?
Yeah.
Timelines from that night are cross-checked work schedules, travel distances, and phone activity. Technical factors such as communication records and temporary vehicles are added to the case file.
So how often do you see Scott now?
He usually comes for about a week, once a month.
Did Scott have any idea that Marty was going over there that night?
Not as far as I know.
And had Marty made any comments that would make you think that he was going to do something like that?
No, I know that he always talked about it. He always told me that if I ever had a problem, he would take care of it. And I always told him it was...
Had he offered to kill her before?
He's offered to kill her, he's offered to kill Dylan, Scott. It doesn't matter. If I have a bad day with a coworker, he always tells me there's always plan B. And
So he's
plan B.
just up for killing anybody?
Pretty much. Yeah. Yeah. He's told me before about supervisors. I know where they live. Just give me the word.
Do you know of anyone else that he's told the story?
My ex-girlfriend.
Who's that?
Her name is Stella. Neal.
N-E-A-L?
N-E-A-L.
Sorry, who's that?
Stella Neal.
Stella? Neal?
He told me that they all knew.
When did she tell her?
I guess he told her before when it happened.
Did she ever mention that? I mean, she never mentioned it, or?
After the shooting, I stopped. I didn't go out anymore. I didn't really talk to my friends. I have almost no contact with any of them in the last year.
Where's Stella live?
Apartments in Moses Lake.
Why would she hold something like that?
Because Marty pays her phone bill. Marty was paying her bills. He was taking care of her.
So
They're best friends.
She's pretty tight. Marty, I
Yeah.
would say, if you trust her that much.
Yep.
How old is she, approximately?
She's 25. I think she's just a couple months younger than me.
Do you know what her birthday is by any chance?
Yep, it's the day after Scott's. It's July 20th. Her and I guess some of her neighbors.
Some of Stella's neighbors know too.
I think there was like 6 people.
Did when did it come out that he told all these people? How did you find that out?
And towards the end, he said, I thought Stella would have told you by now.
And that was just this past Wednesday?
That's why instead of saying that he had told me when I left the tip, I just said that it was rumors.
Statements reveal that some individuals may have known information earlier but failed to report it. This highlights hesitation and psychological pressure, factors that contributed to the case remaining unsolved for months.
I don't want it coming back on me.
Did he tell anyone else that you're aware of?
I was surprised to find out that he told them.
Yeah, it is the kind of thing that you would think you would keep to yourself.
Well, and that they would probably tell me. That's the part that I don't get. Because I introduced Marty and Stella. And then once they started hanging out, Stella stopped talking to me as much. She started using drugs this past December. Our friendship just died.
What kind of drugs is she using?
She was using meth. I think they all smoked pot.
So is that the kind of group, when you say Stella and her neighbors, is it like a group of meth users?
Yeah, they live in low-income apartments. They're kind of all shady characters, actually. I didn't like going over there. She would always get mad at me because I wouldn't visit.
You mentioned that you think there might be shell casings in the backyard at his dad's place from where he was target practicing.
Yeah.
Did he mention specifically target practicing with the gun that he used? Did he talk about practicing first, or
No.
what was it?
No. All he said was that all of that ammo, except for the one single clip, had been spent about 2 years before.
Oh, okay. So he didn't necessarily say he shot it there. He just said he shot up a whole bunch of ammo and had one.
He uses the backyard. That's where all of his ammo is expended. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what he said, was they can try and dig down to find the ammo if they want, but I don't see him wasting the time.
Are you familiar? Have you been to his house and his bedroom and his dad's?
I've never been to his dad's house. I found it on a map only because of the very distinctive driveway that he told me about.
What's distinctive about the driveway?
It's shaped like an H.
It's got an H
And the
driveway?
house sits right in the middle of the top.
So has he talked about any special places he might hide a gun if he didn't want it to be found?
That I can think of.
What did you, at the end of that conversation where he dropped all this on you, how did that conversation end? What did you tell
He
him?
just said that he had to go home.
Investigators discuss strategies to obtain direct statements from the suspect through investigative techniques. The goal is to capture unfiltered words that clarify involvement and intent.
It was getting late. He said to go shopping or something.
Have you talked to him since then?
Yeah. I talked to him for a couple of minutes at work the other day, and sent him a message yesterday to find out if he was working through the shutdown or not. Yeah, that's it. Our relationship is pretty much come to a standstill.
Yeah, this definitely throws a monkey wrench into things, I would say.
It's not been a good week. That's for sure.
If you initiated another conversation with him, do you think he would talk to you about it more?
Feel Paige's guilt when she says, "I don't know whether to feel guilty or betrayed." That betrayal cuts so deep. Marty had offered to kill people before. Coworkers, exes, anyone. And no one reported it. It's heartbreaking how long it took for justice to even start moving. So much pain could have been prevented.
I'm sure he would. He worships the ground I walk on. He's obsessed with me.
Is that something that you would consider?
That's all I could think about the last 2 days.
What if there was a situation where we could put a wire on you? Would you be willing to talk to him with a wire on?
Yeah.
Because that might be the best, the most effective way to get it in his own words. Because obviously that won't mean the most. If he's saying that he did it.
I was going to try and talk to him more on Friday and record.
Is there any chance that when we pick him up, is there any chance that he's going to say that, yeah, I did this for Paige and she knew about it, she told me to do it?
I think that's always a chance, but I couldn't see him trying to do that. He's always been a very honest person, as far as I know.
And if he did say that, it'd be a total lie. You didn't.
Wow. Yeah.
And the question's got to be asked.
Yeah.
Because it will be asked, as
Right.
we go forward.
I cried more after Desiree died than Scott did. It hit me a lot harder.
Did you and Scott live together for a while after that?
No, we were pretty inseparable there for probably a month or so. And then his depression kicked in. And we kind of drifted apart. We talked about him moving in. And then he got this new girlfriend or whatever. Moved in with her instead. Again.
So you thought a little bit about wearing a wire. Have you given any thought to when or where the safest place to meet him might be?
We work together, but I would really hate to do it at work.
Yeah, I don't think that probably wouldn't be very discreet. Yeah.
1,000 different places.
Questions center on behavioral changes after the murder. Shifts in conduct, communication patterns, and attention to media coverage are treated as important psychological indicators.
So it wouldn't. You guys are close enough to where you could call him and say, "Hey, meet me here," and it wouldn't be a big deal. You guys
pretty much
do stuff together.
If I said, "Hey, I need to see you," or "I want to talk," he's pretty well. He might have something the wife needs to be done, and then he'll see me. But usually, especially if I can catch him right as he's leaving work, he's usually got some time. I didn't sleep at all last night trying to figure everything out. I don't know whether to feel guilty or betrayed.
Does Scott Sr. know about this new information?
I guess and no. We talked a little bit about it the other night. Before I gave all of the rest of the information, he told me that I had to say everything. I didn't tell him that I heard it directly from him.
What is his take on telling Scott?
He's keeping quiet and letting me decide when to do that.
No. I think that's a tough call. That's a touchy situation because we don't want to end up with another shooting on our hands because any man's natural reaction when they find something like that.
That was his dad's initial reaction was, let me meet him.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I've already put in tips. I'm trying to get this going.
Mm-hmm.
Said I could do that for you, but I don't think that's what we're going for.
It's not going to help anyone if they end up in prison right beside him.
Yeah, and that's what I told him. I said, you could do a lot of damage, or we could just put him in prison.
So you haven't told anybody?
No, Scott's dad is the only one that I really told anything to. I had to tell my mom just a little bit that I was coming up. She was in the car with me yesterday when you called.
Okay.
And she asked who it was and what it was about. And I told her I had to come up here today to meet with you. And she has my kids. But I didn't give her any of the actual information. I just said that I think I know who did it. So his dad doesn't even know that I'm sure about it.
Are there any other details that he gave you about the night of, about how he did it, or?
All that keeps playing back in my mind is her trying to crawl away.
Did he give you ever a time frame about what time he was there?
I think he said he was there 3 or 3:15. I have that mixed up. It's a lot to try and process.
What was your reaction when he started telling you all this?
I was in shock. I just mostly just sat and listened, and I asked him how he thought he was going to get away with it.
Financial issues, insurance matters, and future plans related to the victim's family are revisited. Investigators explore whether personal motives or economic stress existed before the crime.
What do you say to that?
He said I already have.
But he just told somebody. When do you think he would call the police or go to the police about it?
I don't think so. Given my past, I don't think so. I think that he believes that
He thinks that you would protect him to the end?
I believe that he believes that, yes.
Well, you obviously didn't work today?
No, the plant is shut down for 2 weeks.
Okay, so it's not uncommon that you'd be gone today. I mean, everybody's gone.
Yesterday, we had a corporate event, and yesterday was our last obligation for work. Until, I think it's the 11th that we're going back up. But he's working the whole time.
You said that he carries a gun in his car, or used to.
I know that he used to.
Does he carry a gun on his person?
Not usually, no. And as far as I know, the wife is pretty psychotic, so I don't know that he even has guns in the house. I'm really not sure about that. It never really occurred to me to ask.
Did he say if he's talked to her about it?
I asked if she knew, and he told me she didn't. And then I got to thinking about it, and I know that he's miserable with her, and she has a very large life insurance policy. And that part kind of freaked me out too. A very vivid imagination.
he said, he told you specifically that the jewelry box that he took from Desiree is in his closet at his dad's house still, and he could bring it and show it to you?
And he told me that he had stashed it in the closet at his dad's house and that he would bring it to me if I wanted to see it. Because I asked him, how did I know he was telling the truth?
Did he offer any other signs of proof? Was there any other evidence that he could give that?
I don't think so. The jewelry box was all that he mentioned.
Did he say why he took that?
I didn't even ask. It seems like such an insignificant detail. It honestly never even occurred to me to ask. I guess I thought later, why the little one and not the big one?
Do you think it's just filled with junk jewelry or mismatched jewelry?
Yeah, if I remember right. That was what she kept in there. She had a few different jewelry boxes.
What about the burglary that happened the week before? Did he talk about that at all? Did he admit any involvement in what was going on there?
No.
He was just aware
It was
of
a
it?
perfect storm.
Just aware that there was a board on the window?
Right. He knew about that because originally Scott had thought that Dylan was the one that broke in. And Marty was my best friend. Marty was the one that I talked to about everything, so I told him about it. He caught me in a bad mood at work one night. I just kind of went off. So he already knew about that.
The post-crime timeline is carefully reviewed: who met whom, where, and under what circumstances. Media tracking, private conversations, and meeting frequency become supporting data.
So were you communicating with Marty very much during that weekend and afterwards? Did he drop out of sight for a while, or did you guys stay in contact like normal?
That night after he left, and then I think the next day was the Super Bowl. No, it wasn't. There was something going on. Because the next day, when Scott went home, I was at my friend's house and we were watching a sports event. Might have been NASCAR. It had to have been the race. I don't remember if I talked to Marty that day or not. I think that he had said something about being tired and not having been able to sleep the night before. We didn't talk very much. And I don't remember if it was the day that I saw you or the day after I told him about the shooting. He helped me follow this story very closely. He would find news results that sometimes I just had to take a day off. I couldn't read anymore. I couldn't think about it. I would just take a day off, and then he would bring me new. Hey, this is what the news is. He was very supportive. We were very close.
But he said specifically that he shut his phone off when he drove from Warden to Yakima the night of.
Didn't turn it back on until he got home.
Does he have a fancy phone, or is it not just a regular old?
I think he has a Samsung still. It's a smartphone.
He has a smartphone. Okay. Does he ever carry like a throwaway phone with him that he might have had with him?
Not that I've ever known about, no.
He's had that same phone.
As far as I know, it's the same phone, same contract. It's when we started dating, all he had was a landline. And within, I think, 2 weeks, he had gotten a cell phone. He has never changed his number, and I don't think that he ever upgraded his phone. It's not a Samsung. still has an iPhone.
He has an iPhone.
He has an iPhone. I remember that because I had an iPhone. I see him every day.
So timing-wise, coming up, are there certain days that work better for you than others in terms of if we were going to try to catch him on a wire?
Dylan's picking the kids up on Friday. I have to pick them up on Sunday. I don't think that really matters what day between now and the time that the plant comes back up.
Do you know what hours Marty works?
Discussion turns to shared workplaces and daily contact. This helps clarify the true level of closeness between those named in the statements.
I think it's 7:30 to 3:30 or 7 to 3:30. It's 7 to 3:30. Monday through Friday. Sometimes she works overtime.
Any other questions that you have today?
How often have you seen him since the shooting?
I work with him
You work on it, so you see him every...
pretty much every
Okay.
day.
Did he seem different after the shooting? Was there anything that strikes you that, I mean, this guy just killed somebody. There would be some kind of change or reaction, or did he ever say anything?
There was nothing. He was just very concerned about me. He asked a lot about mine and Scott's plans. He asked a lot about if we were moving forward, what we were doing, how we were doing, stuff like that. But I always just thought that it was him, me, Marty, checking in, saying how I was doing.
And then the last Wednesday is when he told you,
Right.
and that was at your house. Was there a reason why he was over there that day? Or he just show up? Or
No, he was picking up the kids.
he's picking up the kids?
Well, yeah, he took both of them because he dropped my oldest one off at the sitter.
Because he was,
Scott and I had been arguing, and I wanted to sleep. So he took the baby overnight.
okay.
His wife usually babysits for you?
She used to babysit for me.
Used to. What's her name?
Elizabeth.
Same last as him.
Yes.
So that was a planned meeting.
That was, yeah.
And so, just to clarify a few more things, did he blurt it out, or?
I was explaining to him what was going on.
With you and Scott?
Yeah. And he asked me, do you want me to take care of her like I did the last one?
So you were talking to him about Scott and his new gal?
Mm-hmm.
And that you were gonna go see Scott that day?
No, Scott was already at my house.
Scott was coming,
He was already there. He was asleep when Marty came.
so he's still seeing someone else, but he's still seeing you?
Right.
Okay,
He's living with somebody else and still seeing me, yes.
okay. And how long has that been going on?
August or September of last year, he moved out there.
So,
Almost 2 years.
so even though Scott's seeing somebody else, you still allow him to stay at your place now and see him?
Yeah.
Okay. And were you about ready to break up with Scott, or tell him this is it?
I've been thinking about it. But relationships end.
Personal conflicts, emotional strain, and discussions of separation are outlined as the mental backdrop leading up to the critical moment. Investigators view these as contextual factors influencing decisions.
So he just offered that he could take care of this other one like he did the last one, referring to Desiree.
Yeah. I found out that Scott was lying about a lot of stuff, and that's what we've been fighting about.
And Scott was what now?
Scott was lying about a lot of stuff.
For instance?
The status of the house. Insurance, death certificates.
What was he saying?
We had been trying to figure out if we were going to keep the house, rent it out, sell it off, let the bank take it. I had just found a company to come in and clean up the crime scene. It's still sitting. It hasn't been touched. Said that there was insurance and he couldn't get it without the death certificate. He couldn't get the death certificate until his name had been cleared legally. He was having trouble finding work. He figured because of the background check, because of his involvement with the case, he was just frustrated with everything.
So you're sharing that with Marty?
I think a few times I've mentioned it throughout the year, because Marty was always very condescending about Scott, about how he needed to, man up and go get a job, and he needed to go
So
take
why?
his responsibilities.
What was the conversation that really probably drew Marty's comments out, saying I can take care of this next one? I mean,
I barely told Marty that night that Scott was living with somebody else.
In the end, Marty took an offered plea and got 15 years. Justice was served, but it will never erase the pain Desiree's family carries forever. This case is a brutal reminder that hidden obsessions can be deadly. If this story touched you, drop a comment and tell me how it made you feel. Next video is bringing another chilling confession that will leave you speechless. Stay tuned and binge the older Cypher Crimes cases too.
that's the first time he heard about it?
And I told him that I thought that we were going to be breaking up and that I was tired of the situation. He asked me if I wanted to take care of it.
Did you relate to him your feelings to Scott yet? What were your feelings towards Scott?
He's betrayed my trust. And he knows it. We talked a lot last week.
So why, instead of taking care of this next gal, why not take care of Scott?
He's offered that too. I've always told him no. I've always told him no about everybody.
Did he... he offers, okay, I'll take care of this other gal and you can have your life with Scott? Is that anything like that, or what?
I think that's what he's trying for.
Even though you were done with Scott, because Scott sleeps around.
And it's not because he sleeps around. That's not the problem. The problem is that he's a liar.
The problem is what?
That he's a liar.
Could Scott have worked any kind of a deal with Marty to take care of Desiree?
I really don't think so.
Did they know each other very well before this?
No, they had only known each other for probably 4 months.
Before this? Before
Desiree shooting.
What was the name of the neighbor that you guys helped out?
Lori.
Lori?
Information about an elderly neighbor previously helped by several individuals appears in the file, explaining how certain people gain familiarity with the home and the family's routines.
What's her last name?
Sagalini. Segalini.
Is she elderly?
Yes, she's 61. She'll finally be officially senior citizen this year.
And that was kind of what brought Scott and Marty together. Other than the connection through you, they would go over and help.
Right.
Gloria.
Marty had all of the money and Scott had all of the time. So it was, Marty was traveling back and forth from Moses Lake to Yakima, and Scott was already in Yakima, so he would already stop and check in on her. She would call him whenever she needed something. And sometimes Marty and Scott, if one or the other of them had an issue, then they would get a hold of the other one and work it out.
I can't think of anything else for the panel.
Is there anything else that you think we should know about?
I'm trying to think.
Marty said it was a 9mm. Did he say what kind of, what brand?
I don't think he mentioned the brand. He said that it was a 9mm, and he was very careful not to break the glass in the den.
Not to break the glass mirror
In the den.
in the den.
So he made sure to angle himself so that the bullets, if they went through her, would not penetrate the glass. He made it look random. Instead of just shooting her and getting it over with, he made sure to shoot her in the legs, the chest, stomach. He didn't kill her until he could get the back. I think she would be pretty good at it.
Did he talk about, did he get very specific about about Desiree and her reaction when he came in the door? And the dog was barking, you said?
And the dog is barking. He said she came out, didn't grab her gun, and put her robe on. She was naked, or mostly naked, and had something on her leg. Scott told me later that she was due for surgery. She screamed. She jumped and she screamed when she saw him.
Now, where was she when she jumped and screamed?
In the den. She was about halfway out before she saw him.
Did he tell you how she was dressed or anything like that?
She just described that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Naked, or mostly naked, with a covering over one of her legs.
Your soft voice, I missed that, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Happens when you have a hearing impaired guy.
I apologize.
Glad somebody caught it.
Had Desiree ever seen Marty around? So Scott gave him a tour of the house.
That was the first time she ever met him.
When he got the tour.
Mm-hmm.
So she would have known who he was, but didn't know him well.
Right. It was the very first time that they ever met.
As the interrogation nears its end, investigators compile statements, signatures, and required legal documentation. At this stage, the case contains enough material to focus squarely on a specific suspect.
I can't think of any other questions that I have today. I would very much like to research getting a wire order and having you wear a wire and to talk to him to try and capture this in his own words. Like I said, that's a pretty intensive process. It's they just don't hand out wiretap orders. There's a lot of paperwork that I'm gonna have to do. It'll take me at least a few days to work through the people who specialize in wires and surveillance and stuff like that, to coordinate with them. So it's going to take me a little time, but I'll definitely try and stay in contact with you to let you know how things are progressing, to talk about time frames. I'm sure when we meet with the wire guys, they'll have a lot of different suggestions and things like that. Do you have any other questions for us today? Okay. Well, I really appreciate you coming forward with this information, and it's something that we're going to take very seriously and work on right away. But I know that it took a lot of courage for you to come and talk to us, being put in a position that
I
you
was
are.
going to call you originally, actually, and I wasn't sure if you were still the detective on the case or not, and that's why I went with the anonymous tip.
Yeah. I would like to have you sign this sworn affidavit. It's I'm going to ask you initial where it says, I orally gave this statement to the officer, and the officer recorded what I said. I gave the officer permission to record the statement. And then I'm going to ask you to sign below where it says, I understand that this statement may be used in a court of law and may be used by a judge in determining the existence of probable cause for any charges that may be filed as a result of the described incident. This statement is truthful and accurate, and I made it voluntarily, knowingly, and intelligently without any threats or promises of any kind. I certify or declare under penalty of perjury under the laws of the state of Washington that the foregoing is true and correct. Does that sound accurate? Yes. Just ask you to initial there and sign down there. This time, I'm going to conclude the statement. The time right now is 15:04 hours, and I am Detective Sam Pearl.
Can you hang tight for a few minutes?
Yeah.
Okay. You comfortable? A little warm?
It's a little bit warm.
Yeah, you want to sit out here where it's a little cooler?
Sure.
If you step out, you'll notice that it's a whole lot cooler. For some odd reason, that thing gets all the room in there.
I can imagine.
The final outcome confirms that physical evidence, including the firearm barrel, 9mm shell casings, and matching boot prints, links back to Marty Grismer. While he did not formally admit guilt, Marty accepted a legal plea agreement and was sentenced to 15 years in prison at Washington State Penitentiary in Walla Walla. The case closed after more than a year of uncertainty, underscoring the complexity of personal relationships and the decisive role of physical evidence in uncovering the truth.